Hey, hey, Blue Table fans, it's Thursday morning, yeah. Every Wednesday around noonish, I run an online Dungeons & Dragons game. And it's pretty cool. Country style hash browns, oh boy. Grade A, 100% real potatoes. Well, I hope there's nothing different than that exists. 100% unreal potatoes. They create like a black hole when you open them. No, you didn't get unreal potatoes. All right. What else did Sean get at the groceria store? A white onion. Bam. Let's get rid of this. Ooh, let's spread these out a little bit. That will make it better. Put them on medium. Turns out it's this root part that releases a chemical that makes you cry. So if you don't cut it too much, you're actually okay. Half? Yeah, I'm just going to put a half an onion. Half an onion. That's my Oregon roots coming out, guys. Cut off the plant side. Score it gently. Ooh, this knife needs to get sharpened. That'll make it slightly easier to peel off this outer layer here. There we go. So I sold off my Necrons. I think I mentioned this already, and I'm very sad because now they get like a giant buff, and that's okay. Alright, so then you cut them in rows, but you don't cut all the way to the bottom to that root part, that rut part. Alright, and then you make some horizontal cuts. I usually just do 2, some people say 3. And then, because I don't need them diced too much. So now it's like a grid on the end, and now you can just, with some good knife work, you can dice this onion, hopefully without getting it all over the floor. There we go. And Gordon Ramsay has a great video on how to do this, and then you can just cut the, if you want to save this extra material. And then you just have the root part, and you can throw that out. Yep, sure enough, I got some on the floor. All right, here we go. So we'll put those in a little pile. And we're letting the hash browns. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put more. I'm gonna put more in. Feels like it's not thick enough in there. One of the big things when I started to learn how to cook, one of the big things I learned is don't cook things on high. Like I never saw a single video where the chef was like, oh yeah, put it on high for 2 minutes. It's like, okay, this takes 10 minutes to saute or whatever at medium, so I'll put it on high and do it for 3 minutes. It's not, guys, it's not the same thing. What else did I get? Organic bananas, because my wife likes it that way. My wife. Okay, cool. So now I have this bag, this empty bag. Just start putting my trash in there. What else did I get? Okay, here's a delicacy, an indulgence in this family, by the way. It's called Packy Chips. They're like Doritos, but good, actually. Like, once you have this, you won't be able to eat regular Doritos. You'll just be like, oh, this is not the best. We're going to the post office today to deliver about 4 or 5 packages. And here we go. I've got a client texting me. Yeah, that is amazing. He's showing me 3D prints of classic out-of-print GW stuff, but that's been done better. Eggs. I'm definitely cooking these. Sometimes the cheaper things are better, guys. Like, my wife likes these $7.50 eggs, and I'm like, and I cook them and they taste funny. They taste too rich. Yeah, I'm browning these up. See that steam coming off of there? So nice. Here we go. Make some scrambled eggs. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I think I'll do. This is a tough call. I think I'll do 6 eggs. Jonah eats like a mountain of food, but he contributes. He contributes so much to the studio. He's doing a really good job. I'm very pleased. Very pleased with all my children. They're doing good in life. And here we go. One more. What else? So yeah, with Necrons, I'm like, oh, I should have held on to that army because it had everything in it. I mean, that army, that was amazing. But I also happen to be in the wonderful position of being able to redo any army that I want. For scrambled eggs, you need minimum 80 strokes, maybe more since I have. What was I saying? Since I have more eggs in there. Alright. What a wonderful Tuesday morning. The autumn is really nice. In Oregon, there's a lot of greenery. The forest is very old there, so autumn was my favorite time of year. Overcast, very pensive, not too cold. It's usually in the 50s in Oregon in autumn. Where I grew up in Ashland, it was close enough to the coast that we had fairly temperate weather. Is this even recording? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. That's nice. And how many of you are counting the strokes? Haha, you have OCD. I hope it's an odd number like 77 or something like that. Alright, so it's still temperate weather. And then when I moved to Utah, my favorite time of year was spring. Oh, let's get some salt. Let's get some pepper on there. And you know what? I may as well get a second pan going here. I can saute the onions in it. That'll be nice. There we go. Some olive oil. By the way, we are going to be putting butter into the hash browns during the second stage. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh yeah, I bought this pre-minced garlic. So usually I like to mince it fresh, but this actually seems pretty good. It smells okay, and it's easy. You don't have to deal with the garlic thing. I'm doing Dune, the role-playing game. Ooh, that seems like a lot. Oh, and that little bit of garlic juice is getting into the bottom. That's nice. Well, that'll provide like a nice smell. All right, I think it's time. Did I get all the seasonings I want? No, I want some cumin in there. Cumin will give it some nice color. Give it a little bit of a richer flavor. Mmm, that Indian food smells so nice. That's what I'm talking about. All right, here it comes. See if I browned them. I did! They turned out brown on the bottom. And it's not an exact science. We're just going to flip them generally. Here we go. Now, oh yeah, that garlic got mixed up a little bit there. Now I'm going to put that butter on there. My other pan's heating up nicely. The scrambled eggs, to do them right, they need constant attention. You can't just let them sit there. They need to be moved around a lot. There we go. That's probably enough butter. Got a quarter stick of butter on there. And that will start to dissolve and just integrate into those potatoes. Soaking it up. Yeah, that's real nice. I like it. Okay, let's get our onions in now. There we go. This I am going to put on high. I want to brown them and then set them aside. By the way, it's bad to bang the edge of the pan like that. Maybe with a wooden spoon, it's okay. What else? Yeah, scrambled eggs, potatoes. Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to make for breakfast. Oh, better get some greens going. Oh, I should have bought some cilantro. Oh well, these spring onions will do. I always put them in a baggie. They seem to keep very well that way. Oh no, some of them are gooey. So I'll just get those out. Yeah, you know what? This whole thing is not fresh. Let's just throw that out. But fortunately, I have yet another sprig of them in here that is looking good. I've already washed these off, but I'm going to give them yet another wash. Yep, when I take my 5-year-old daughter to the grocery store and she's touching all of the produce, I'm like, well, that's why you got to wash your produce when you get home. You don't know whose kid has been touching it. Here we go. Will I put this on the top or mix it in ahead of time? I don't know. We'll just have those on hand. I had a container. All right, let's go ahead and give these onions a little jiggle. Yeah, like that. Oh, we need to give them some salt and pepper too. Not too much because the hash browns will already have some really nice seasoning in them. Oil, salt, pepper. That's a winning combination. Now I'm trying to leave just a little crunch on those onions. I think that'll be nice. That's good. That's good breakfast. All right, we've got the new update, and off the top of my head, it changes points for Adeptus Mechanicus and also Dark Eldar, Drukhari. And I'm not sure, I didn't look it over, but it seems like their points went up. So that was bad for them. Correct me if I'm wrong, by the way. Oh, my hash browns. Let's see how brown they are. Oh, they turned out so nice. These are going to be so delicious. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. I'll see if they taste better than Trader Joe's hash browns. Yep, and sure enough, my garlic is getting cooked in there. And we'll add a little bit of a nice garlicky flavor. I should taste them now, but I feel like my seasoning is okay. Here we go. Give our onions a little turn. I can tell by their sound that they're still a little too solid for what I want to do this morning. I'm going to go get a plate. So, core keyword, I need to go online and find out how that changes, like what things affect core keyword. Well, first is the first thing you do in the command phase is my will be done from your 1 or 2 Necron Lords that you have. One on Catacomb Command Barge. Oh, I got to rebuild this army. I have so much to paint. And I think I'm going to use the same paint scheme. So my will be done gives +1 to hit. Is that right? Yes, it is. And +1 inch to movement. Or is that an aura? All right, you know what? I just got to look this up, or I'm just going to misinform people. All right, let's get these hash browns out. Yeah, those seem like a really good consistency. I'm going to go ahead and just pull one out, and I'm going to taste test it. Here we go. Yeah, that's good. Just enough softness, just enough, but they are a little under-seasoned. I am correct in that suspicion there. Put on a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper. Butter, salt, pepper. Winning combination. Get those onto the plate. You know what? I'm going to make 2 plates. I'll make one for me, one for Jonah. Then I moved to Utah, and my favorite season here was spring. By the way, I give Jonah usually 65% and myself about 35, maybe 40%. Oh, it's going to be so good. Oh, doesn't that look nice, that steam coming off of there? And you know what? I'm going to cook my eggs in here. I'm going to turn down the heat on my onions just so I can disattend those. Okay, those are browning up real nice. Those definitely look right now. Oh, those look perfect. Let's put those on medium-low. Get some olive oil in our pan. Now, grab a wooden spoon. Nope. Yep. The first one I got was too short of a handle. And then get our eggs in there. And I gotta keep moving them around or they will get too chunky. I had this woman who was a professional chef make me scrambled eggs one time, and the curds, let's say, that she had in them were really fine, and I wasn't used to that, so I thought she had made them weird. But it turns out she had made them correctly, or she had made them in a, I guess, a more advanced way. Correctly would be like, well, whatever you like is correct, which is kind of a non-answer. All right, back to the seasons. In Oregon, loved autumn. In Utah, I started to love spring a lot, and then, you know, I kind of groused a little bit when it was summer and winter. But now I like them all. Every season has its own charm, has its own way of being, and you know what? You can't change it, so why not just like it? All right, this is going to be good. Oh, I kind of want to have a bite of these hash browns now. Okay, good. Hey, let's talk about setting up a project at BTP. Yeah, here's my plug, I guess. So first off, I'm to the point now where I pretty much don't have to do any advertising. I just have a lot of repeat customers, but it's always nice to get more projects and fill things out. Right now I need to get about 3 new projects in the pipe, it feels like. And so the first step is to send me the list of what you want done. And it helps to be specific. Like, don't just say a squad of intercessors. Well, is it a squad of 5? Is it a squad of 10? Otherwise, that creates like an extra step where I send the quote and it's like, oh yeah, I only wanted 5. So giving me numbers helps. Telling me what you need done. There's 3 different services that we provide to produce a painted model. We'll acquire the model for you if you want. We'll assemble the model for you if you want. And we'll paint them. Painting is pretty much an essential thing. Although I do provide assembly-only services as well. But it's rarer. Okay, these are getting cooked. They're almost done. So this is the point where I'm going to get a big old glob of butter and let that melt into them as I'm finishing them up. That also prevents them from getting dry, but because you don't want to undercook them, you don't want them to be snotty, but you do want them to be buttery. And I break up a lot of those curds here, and it turns out so delicious. Yeah, I'm going to actually turn the heat off on that. All right. What was I talking? Oh yeah, setting up a project. So the first step is to get a quote. You tell me what you might want to have done. There's no obligation. It's okay to just have the quote sit there for a year, or even if you just wish you could do it and you don't know how, well, it's fine. A lot of times I have people come back a year or 2 later and they're like, yeah, I'm finally ready to do my army. Okay, here we go. Jonah's plate. And now Dad's plate. I actually probably won't even eat all of this. I'll just save it for later. Yeah, scrambled eggs aren't great for reheating, in my opinion. There we go. Just leave this on the stove. It'll dry out all of this egg and it makes it easier to remove. Oh yeah, the onions. We'll just put a little bit on there. That's nice. Yeah, I definitely made too many onions. I love white onions. In fact, I like onions in general. All right, so once we get your quote, there's 3 different ways you can break up the payment. Because usually it's a chunk of change to get an army professionally done. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put on just a little bit of this everything but the bagel stuff. Yeah, there it is. Always gives it a nice finish. Okay, wow, I am like super disjointed this morning. Okay, so 3 different ways to pay. You can pay half down and half on completion. You can pay in full up front and you get a discount for that. Or you can pay in as little as tenths. Very few people do the tenths thing, but it does exist. And some people they just like to kind of pick away at a project. If it costs X amount of money, they just start sending $50, $100 or whatever. And then I usually try and make it so the completion of the project matches up with that final payment coming. And I offer discounts, which is nice. And they're principal discounts. I'm not just giving a lower number just because. If you bulk, so if you have a large run of models, you can get a discount for artistic license. That's letting us paint and base them how we want within the genre. So people are like, oh, well, my orcs won't be pink, will they? Nope, it won't, because pink orcs are not anywhere in the lore. And you've probably never seen them. However, Guy, what else? I sometimes will offer a discount for timeliness, like getting in your payment by a certain amount of time, which is nice sometimes to have that. And I think that's it. All right, so my job is to make things within the reach of the common man, and so be upfront with me. Just say, listen, I'm trying to get this done on a budget, or this is my budget. I'm trying to get the largest army that I can with it. And I'm an expert at finding models and figuring out ways to get it into or as close to that budget as possible. And yeah, you like seeing my hands? All right. And then we're off to the races. I order the models, I get everything set up right away. I don't wait on that. And I've been working really hard for many years to get my turnaround time tightened up. And right now it's pretty good. It makes me happy inside. All right, guys, I think that's it. I think I'll just put up this video just because, it's time to eat breakfast. Thanks for tuning in, guys.